sweet.
Breaking news tonight in the race for the White House. The new poll numbers just in from Ohio and Florida. What Donald Trump just said, if he wins Ohio and Florida next, his prediction, going for a knockout. And the Sanders surprise, what happened to Hillary Clinton in Michigan? And get ready, how does Clinton take on Sanders tonight? Also breaking, the severe storms hitting right now. Children rescued, homes underwater. From the Gulf all the way up to the Northeast, where it's coming next. On the scene tonight, a major gas explosion rocking an American city. Buildings leveled, streets covered in debris and glass. Firefighters injured. The stunning moment, the cab driver held at gunpoint. The officer who happened to walk up to the car. And the fifth Beatle, celebrating Sir George Martin tonight. The songs that wouldn't have been the same without him.
Love me do.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. The dust still settling after another critical night of voting, and already tonight, the focus now on next Tuesday. Overnight, Donald Trump winning 3 out of 4 states, and late today vowing if he wins Ohio and Florida next, he'll go for, in his words, a knockout. Trump now has victories in 15 states, all of those in red. He leads in delegates. And next Tuesday night could very well be a turning point. 5 major primaries, Ohio and Florida included. Tonight, Ohio Governor John Kasich promises he'll win his home state. A new Fox poll out tonight shows Kasich leading Trump in Ohio by 5 points, the only poll so far showing Kasich ahead. And Senator Marco Rubio tonight saying he'll win his home state of Florida. But Trump is leading Rubio by 23 points in that same poll. Tonight, Donald Trump with that message about what's coming if he takes Ohio and Florida. And ABC's Tom Yamas leading us off now from Miami.
Tonight, Donald Trump with a new message, predicting he'll go for a knockout if he wins Ohio and Florida next week.
Do you think he'll get all the delegates?
I think so, yeah. I really think so. I don't see the convention going that route. I see probably getting the delegates. You know, it's like the fighters. That's the ultimate way of doing it. You knock them out. If you knock them out, nothing can happen.
You want to go for a knockout?
I'd rather go for a knockout.
Trump talking like a brawler late today, just hours after promising his leadership style would be one of the most presidential ever.
I would say more presidential, and I've said this a couple of times, more presidential than anybody other than the great Abe Lincoln. He was very presidential, right?
At the Country Club news conference, Trump surrounded by some of his signature products, including Trump Magazine, Trump Water, Trump Wine, even raw meat.
And we have Trump steaks. And by the way, if you want to take one, we'll charge you about, what, $50 a steak? No,
Problem is, Trump steaks have actually been discontinued. The meat on that table from another supplier. But in that room, the GOP frontrunner was really selling something else, the idea of Trump the Uniter.
I say let's come together, folks. We're going to win. I say let's come together.
Today, as Trump's lead grows, the anti-Trump movement pushing forward.
The next president of the United States.
Former candidate Carly Fiorina now endorsing Senator Ted Cruz. Trump once attacking Fiorina's appearance, saying, look at that face. Would anyone vote for that?
I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
Fiorina once had tough words for Cruz, too.
That Ted Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases.
But she now believes he's the one to stop Trump. Still in the game, Ohio Governor John Kasich and Florida Senator Marco Rubio, both banking on home state wins next Tuesday to breathe life into their flagging campaigns.
I believe with all my heart that the winner of the Florida primary next Tuesday will be the nominee of the Republican Party.
And Tom Yamas live in Florida tonight. Tom, Marco Rubio with a miserable night. I asked him last week, did he regret going personal with Donald Trump? And he told me that Trump deserved a taste of his own medicine. But tonight, Rubio is saying something else?
That's right, David. He said when he launched those attacks, the media was covering all his speeches, but that's not what it takes to be president. Today, saying that his own kids were embarrassed when he went down that road, and if he had the choice again, he would not do it. David?
All right, Tom Yamas there in Miami, Florida for us. Tom, thanks as always. Next to the Democrats tonight, the candidates facing off this evening, and Hillary Clinton left answering this question: what happened last night after the Sanders surprise? Senator Bernie Sanders, the winner in Michigan despite the polls. Clinton ahead, but so far unable to close the deal in this nomination fight. She did win Mississippi, so So right to the map tonight. Mrs. Clinton winning 12 states, all those in light blue there, and half the delegates she needs to be nominated. So why did she lose in Michigan? ABC's Cecilia Vega with Senator Sanders, who has his own explanation. And we ask, what's Clinton's game plan tonight?
Tonight, instead of a victory lap, a rematch.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
The second debate this week, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders going head to head.
Whoa!
Fresh off that Michigan stunner. The upset that no one saw coming, catching even Sanders by surprise. The Vermont senator throwing together a hastily called late-night news conference to celebrate the victory.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Michigan.
But the win now raising warning signs about possible cracks in Clinton's political armor. Sanders cutting into what had been her firewall, African-American voters in the South. In Michigan, she won by just a 2-to-1 margin, and the young black vote nearly split. We caught up with Sanders today during a break from his debate prep.
Why did she lose Michigan? What did she not do right?
Because we got more votes than she did. And I think it comes down largely to trade issues. I have understood from day one that these trade agreements, NAFTA, permanent normal trade relations with China, were a disaster for American workers. She supported them.
But here's the math. Clinton's delegate lead so strong that in all 5 states voting on Tuesday, she could lose by double digits and still win the nomination. Sanders would have to win everything left by double digits.
So do I think we can win states by double digits? Yeah, I do.
Cecilia joining us live from Florida tonight, the debate hall, and Hillary Clinton ahead in the polls in Michigan, the stunning defeat last night. So what are your sources telling you? How does the campaign explain the loss, Cecilia?
Well, David, they can see that the Sanders campaign spent a lot of money in Michigan and that he campaigned very hard there. But look, they are talking about the delegates tonight. They say despite that loss, they believe they have a delegate lead now that is close to being insurmountable. David?
All right, we'll see what they bring tonight. Cecilia, thank you. Now to the severe weather hitting at this hour, the state of emergency in Louisiana. Flash flood watches in 9 states. The system hitting from the Gulf all the way up to the Northeast. At least 2 people drowned. Homes underwater to their rooftops near Shreveport, Louisiana. Cars almost completely submerged. Nearby, the road washing away from under this SUV. And in East Texas tonight, this highway flooded halfway up to the guardrails there. Heavy rain still falling. Here's the system at this hour and how far it reaches over the next 24 hours. 20 million people in its path. ABC's Philip Mena in Louisiana with where this is headed.
The massive storm system in the south just won't quit. Over a foot of rain in Louisiana. Swift water teams working around the clock. In Houghton, rescuers sending a boat inside this home to save the Chavis family.
My husband woke up about 5 o'clock, went downstairs. He says, we are covered in water.
More than 100 homes underwater in Bossier Parish alone. The local sheriff using Facebook to warn residents to be safe.
I just can't urge people how seriously to take this.
We found James Petterway racing to shore up his home before getting out.
Just see, letting Mother Nature do her thing.
Roads becoming rivers. In Minden, the driver of that SUV left her vehicle on a flooded road and came back to this. She is safe tonight. This extreme flooding comes after a brutal 24 hours across the region. Whoa! With everything from tornadoes to golf ball-sized hail.
David, this area has already gotten over a foot of rain. Just look at that stop sign. And not only is there more on the way, there's also the threat of more severe weather and even tornadoes tonight. David?
Philip Mena on the scene for us. Philip, thanks to you. And meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking the system now over the next 24 hours. Rob?
Just tremendous rainfall with this, David. Not so much with the rainfall rates, but just the steady nature of this. Look at it tapping moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and then stretching all the way up the Mississippi and really reaching into the Northeast, which is where the block is. Big warm ridge here, the spring-like air, and the ribbon of rain will feed in across that stationary boundary with another wave developing, I think, tomorrow night into Friday with heavy rain for New Orleans. We have flash flood warnings now for East Texas all the way up through Memphis. Another 5 to 8 inches of rainfall. Maybe even 10 inches in some areas that have already seen, David, nearly a foot. Life-threatening flooding will be ongoing for the next 48 hours.
All right, Rob Marciano with us tonight. Rob, thank you. To the west this evening, in a massive gas explosion rocking a Seattle neighborhood. This is the scene from the air. A massive debris field, several businesses completely leveled. Glass sent flying, neighbors describing what felt like an earthquake. 9 firefighters injured in the blast, and investigators tonight looking into a common and invisible danger as the cause. ABC's Neil Karlinski at the scene.
The blast was so powerful, a nearby business's surveillance camera captured the shockwave. Immediately, Seattle firefighters, who were already here checking on reports of a gas leak, were down.
Mayday. This is Battalion 6. I need a full response. I have firefighters missing.
9 firefighters were caught in the blast at this local market.
We've got 2 buildings that have been heavily damaged.
The building decimated by the powerful explosion and surrounding businesses heavily damaged.
At that moment, I was thrown on the ground and there was broken glass.
Again and again, we've seen the result. It's a gas leak followed by a powerful explosion, like this house in New Jersey. And firefighters, often the first ones on scene, even before gas lines can be safely secured, risking their lives.
The firefighters had all of their personal protective equipment on. Otherwise, the injuries would have been more significant.
The blast zone is massive. You can still see pieces of the building scattered up in the trees there. Amazingly, those 9 firefighters tonight are out of the hospital with only minor injuries. David?
Neil Karlinski with us tonight. Neil, thanks. Now to Missouri and to the murder spree that left 5 people dead in 2 states. The suspect appearing in court today, prosecutors saying he was in the country illegally and should have been deported, that authorities knew he was here. ABC's Alex Perez tonight on the warning signs missed.
Tonight, Pablo Serrano Vitorino behind bars. Investigators revealing the Mexican national suspected in a murder spree that left 5 dead wasn't even supposed to be in the country. Authorities believe the suspect, an undocumented immigrant, gunned down his neighbor and 3 other men Monday night in Kansas City, Kansas. The suspect then fleeing, driving more than 170 miles to Montgomery County, Missouri. By Tuesday, his Dodge Ram pickup found abandoned. 20 minutes later, another man shot dead at his home 5 miles away. Choppers, canine units scouring the area until the suspect is finally cornered in a muddy ditch.
Confirming subject in custody.
Serrano Vitorino was deported to his native Mexico in 2004, but re-entered the country undetected. After a traffic violation and an arrest for domestic assault last year, ICE sought to have him detained, but local officials had already released him.
Something needs to be corrected so that the system works properly.
The suspect has been arraigned on murder charges here in Missouri and still faces charges in Kansas. The big question, a possible motive, remains a mystery tonight. David?
Alex Perez. Alex, thanks. Overseas tonight into the fight against ISIS, and the British government tonight now estimating that the U.S.-led airstrikes on ISIS oil facilities have now cut the terror group's income by more than 1/3. So tonight here, an ABC News exclusive. Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz on the USS Truman in the Persian Gulf, where those fighter jets are taking off. She's about to give you an inside look at one of those dramatic bombing raids targeting the oil.
The mission, destroy a critical oil pipeline, an effort to cripple the financial resources of ISIS.
We only have that 30-minute window.
Their call signs, Wingnut and Johnny Kittens, and after a briefing, they gear up. Wingnut gives the sign and he's off. Catapulted from 0 to 160 miles an hour in seconds. The night vision equipment casting an eerie glow as the fighter pilots cross Iraq into Syria with the enemy below and a gathering storm around them. Before they hit their target, the jets must refuel mid-air.
Your left side joining.
Connecting with a tanker to gas up, lightning striking all around.
3, 2, 1.
The 2 pilots release their weapons simultaneously, hitting the target, causing a quick, intense flare.
Final bearing.
We met up with the pilots seconds after landing, safely on deck again.
ISIL was using that oil pipeline as a source of revenue, and so that was just a stream of revenue that we wanted to turn off.
The heart-pounding mission, a success in the long, fierce fight against ISIS. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, aboard the USS Truman.
Our thanks to Martha and the team overseas tonight. And there is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Wednesday. The incredible scene, the cab driver held at gunpoint, and the surprise right behind them. The driver fearing for his life, the deputy who happened to walk up to the car, suddenly recognizing what was playing out. You will hear from the driver and the deputy next. The new headline.